Hey, what's happening, everybody? This Big Steve. Uh, it's been a while since I've done a video for YouTube, and I'm getting back in the YouTube game. Uh, my my daughter helped me get Twitter and Instagram together, and trying to tie it all together. And with her help, she's only 16. With her help, this is gonna be something pretty fly. Right now, yeah, I'm dressed kind of raggedy because I'm at work. For those that don't know, I drive truck for a living, and right now I'm out in the oil field. It's kind of like the old sharecroppers where whole families went from field to field to make a little revenue. But what I'm going to talk about this morning, because I generally don't do politics. I try to stay on the trucking side of things. But this is something that I am compelled to talk about. Kamala Harris. Now everybody know who Kamala Harris is. She's the little shining light that the Democratic Party is putting up to lead the country against Donald Trump. She stands a snowball chance in hell of beating Donald Trump. Period. Anybody they put up has a snow. You can count on Donald Trump getting another 4 years. You can count on that. Now, I ain't no Trump supporter or nothing, but that's not to say that I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he's doing. Now, I know me being black, I ain't supposed to say that. Not out loud. I'm supposed to whisper it in the closet. But me personally, anybody know me, I don't give a damn. I'm going to speak the truth in love. And I still say that if the right people sit down in front of him and talk to him, we can get some stuff out of this president. More than we ever could out of Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, anybody else we like to hold up as our Hillary Clinton, as our saviors. I ain't saying he no savior, but I'm saying he's a businessman. And your vote should be a business transaction. I give you my vote, but what you gonna do for me? And I need this shit in writing. I don't need you to tell me what you're gonna do. I need it in writing, and I'm watching. All right. But Kamala Harris, listen to me, people. You are about to make one huge, life-changing mistake if you vote for this woman. I'm just gonna keep it real. See, I'm one of them cats, I do my own research. You see, I've been looking at what she was doing out in San Francisco. I've been looking at what she was doing as Attorney General under Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this woman is bad business, man, for black folks. Now, if you notice something, the only thing you hear are either the new voices of black media putting her business out in the street, and the Democrats trying to take a shovel and cover that business up. Where are the Republicans? Where are the conservatives? They ain't saying nothing, because they know that it is in their best interest, as far as law enforcement and locking black folks up, to let her go like she going. And they also know she gonna implode. She's gonna implode. They're sitting back watching the new voices of black media who are saying now that, hey, look, we have enough leverage and enough of a grassroots effort to make sure that this woman never see the inside of the White House. And there is a concerted effort to make that happen. Now, Kamala Harris slept her way to the top. Kamala Harris purposely and willfully and wrongfully incarcerated black men in California, and women too. Because in California, black women are the next largest growing demographic for incarceration. Did you know that? What's happening to the kids? The kids are going into foster care, they grow up, and then they perpetuate that cycle too by ended up in prison. The boys directly, the girls indirectly. This woman willingly denied defense attorneys information, even though it's required by law, that could have exonerated hundreds of black men that were falsely accused, falsely arrested, falsely charged, and falsely tried and convicted. You want to know who she reminds me of? Remember Medea went to jail? Medea go to jail? Remember that prosecutor in there? That's who she is. She'll lie, cheat, and steal, and everything else for a win. To protect her heritage. Now, this part of the message is specifically for my sisters. You don't like what I got to say? Unfriend me on Facebook. Don't never watch none of my YouTube videos. But I'm finna tell you the truth in love. The only thing you and this woman got in common is the thing between your legs. That's it. She ain't black. She ain't never claimed to be black. Ain't never even tried to be black. Wasn't raised black. She was raised by Indians. Not Native. Ooh, not them. We talking about Dot, not Feather. And we already know how they feel about us. And to make things worse is that at every turn she's had some power. She's exerted that power against people that look just like your sons, your husbands, your boyfriends, your baby daddies, your daddies. Every turn she's exerted that force against them, or people that look just like them. Now she's trying to take this thing to the big stage. So when she was out in California, you know, hey, it didn't affect you, but she's trying to go to the big dance. And when she goes to the big dance with this, that's going to be nationwide. So guess what? It's going to affect your husband. She is literally going to do what she did in California, turn the police loose on black people, and she's going to defend everything they do, right or wrong. More so wrong. When the Supreme Court of California told her, you need to release these names of these corrupt cops. We talking about cops that had bad shootings, disciplinary actions, felonies. You need to release, we are issuing an order for you to release these names. She said, I'm not doing it. And she didn't do it. So if she don't give a damn about what the Supreme Court say, what makes you think she give a damn about what you say and what you think? So we're going to have to stop that jumping on a bandwagon because somebody got the damn near the same skin color as us. We got to stop that shit. We got to have to stop voting against our own best interests because somebody kind of half-ass look like us. I mean, it's real talk. We're going to have to start doing our research. And your research is going to have to start with stop watching CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, what's that other one? The NLN or something like that, whatever that is. You got to stop watching that shit and get over here and start listening to where you can get some unvarnished truth about people who profess to have our best interest in mind. Because you got a lot of black media on YouTube that do a lot of research. They have whole teams to do research and find out. And in most cases, they are neither pro nor against. But if the information they put out there tells a story that this person is not for you, you might want to listen. But because they sound like you and look like you in many cases, you don't want to hear shit they got to say. It is what it is. You need to get over that shit. You know, all you old heads that's all you old heads that brought in a bunch of this confusion and shit into our culture, y'all dying out. That's real talk. Y'all checking on, going to the upper room. And in your wake, you have left a bunch of ignorant, uneducated, politically uneducated young people But this woman is so bad, she can't even fool Generation X. Generation X is looking like, wait a minute, hold up. Let me Google. You know, Gen X and the generations coming up after them, the millennials, they have access to technology and information that just the generation in front of me couldn't even imagine. That's how come they were able to pull off a bunch of this stuff that they pulled off and messed up our homes. It's that generation before us that messed up our homes. That generation that got off into that feminist movement, that fell for that drank that Kool-Aid of that feminist movement, that brought that shit into our homes, ended up, they were the ones who started this high turnover rate in marriage. They were the ones started with this men ain't no good and black men is shit and this, that, and the third. They dying out. And so I look forward to my generation taking the reins of this shit. And I look forward to my generation, to the generation coming up behind me being educated. If you're not educating your kids on what's going on, then you just set them up to be a victim of Kamala Harris. And I refuse to allow my children to be a victim of anybody. Kamala Harris, to put it bluntly, is a hoe. When you trade sex for favors or money, that makes you a hoe. When you have an assemblyman, a California assemblyman, give you a car and then give you $100,000 job, give you a $50,000 $50,000 a year part-time jobs, you riding on the benefits of the city, the taxpayer. And then you find yourself being elevated to being state's attorney by the same person. Well, some women will say, well, she used what she got to get where she was. You an ignorant ass. I mean, it is what it is. And you need to get somewhere and sit the hell down. Cardi B. So what is she telling your daughters? I'm just asking, what is she telling your daughters? Come on. Oh, this bitch. So what is she telling your daughters? It's okay to be a stripper and steal somebody else's culture to promote your own self? Because Cardi B was a stripper. That's what she was. She's a hoe. She shook her ass and throwed her legs up for money. And then when she couldn't do that, when she got a little popularity doing that, she went and kidnapped rap. Cardi B ain't never said she was black. Not never. Oh, but there she was dancing, and all of y'all was like, woo, she so black. Look at her. She pulled that same Obama shit. Obama dancing around on Ellen. Hillary did that same shit, dancing around. Man, please, come on now. Stop falling for the okie doke. Stop drinking that damn Kool-Aid. It's all a game. It's a hustle. They know how to trigger you to make you think that, hey, she one of us. No, she's not. She's not. She has not our best interest in mind. She has not our children's best interest in mind. Let me give you something. See, doing my research, I ran across an interesting thing, and this kind of stood out with me because this was an issue I had right here in Dallas. Judge Jones. Now, when I say that name, and you from Dallas, you know exactly who I'm talking about. He was the truancy king. If your child didn't go to school, he hit your ass with a big fine, and if you couldn't pay that fine, your ass was on community service picking up garbage on the side of the freeway somewhere because your kid didn't go to school. Well, you say, well, the kid's supposed to go to school. Give them a reason to go to school. Have you been up to these schools? They don't learn nothing. They controlled by people who are scared of the police in the school. Did you know that the police had authority to override the principal in the school? Really? Hold that thought. So you might as well just put a fence around it and go and call it a penitentiary. It is what it is. But she took that shit a whole nother further out in Oakland, California, and then transferred it to the state. This is what she did. She charged parents of truant students $2,000 and imprisonment. So that means if your kid didn't go to school, you got fined $2,000 and you went to jail. Well, being that most of our children are being raised by single mothers somewhere in the neighborhood of 72%, which I happen to think is bullshit because there's more black men in the house than the numbers would dictate. Guess who she was putting in jail? Black women. Poor black women. Where in the fuck is Me Too on that? Where are the black feminists on that? See, y'all can't keep you black feminists ain't gonna be able to fool this next generation with that. Y'all got this next generation, you got part of them fool, but that generation coming up after them, they ain't buying that shit. So you can tell that generation that you just raised to believe in that shit, if they can take that shit and shove it, because the next generation, the next generation of females gonna fight them against it and prove them wrong. Because that is the generation where, yeah, I'm on Section 8, but my baby daddy at the house with me. He just had to park in the visitor apartment. He go to work and he bring his check home. And guess what we do? We pay our bills, and we have a little money left over. See, they starting to figure that shit out, that a black man is a necessary part of a household. Oh, I see my cousins' kids, all they little boys they act like little girls. But my son, every time I go somewhere, they say my son is such a mannerable young man. I know that's because he got a man in the house. He got something to emulate. He got somebody to have as a hero, other than 2 Chainz, or not 2 Chainz. What's that nigga with all that shit in his mouth just went to jail for life? Or Dez Bryant, or what's that nigga name, the quarterback for the Cowboys? Or LeBron James, Steph Curry. All them niggas. See, I said a long time ago, my son would never have a necessity to seek a hero outside of his house, because he gonna see his hero every single day. And that's me. Toxic masculinity. What the fuck is that? That's some bullshit y'all made up to try to justify some of this ignorant ass shit y'all do. And y'all steady traveling down that ignorant ass road by trying to convince people to vote for this woman. You got your choice. But me personally, I'd rather just sit it out. I'd rather just sit it out than vote for her. Me personally. And to keep her out, I'd vote for Donald Trump. To keep her ass out of there. I'd rather have a Klansman with a Klan uniform on standing up there being president than somebody who's a Klansman wearing a business suit, got straight hair, and faking the funk, putting up the facade in the front of being like me. You keep watching. This new black media is whooping her ass. She done already fell on her face coming out the blocks. And they ain't gonna let her up. I'm telling you, they ain't gonna let her up. They gonna keep putting her dirt out there in the street, around the clock, 24/7. So y'all, I appreciate y'all checking out this first video. So man, y'all be cool on your stool. I see y'all next time. This Big Steve.